Hi, this is Themathou Stormbringer and Blessed Be. I'm here with the legendary vampire Derek Lestat with an interview with a vampire.
I don't know if I would go with legendary, but we'll run with it.
So how you doing today, Derek?
Just trying to beat the heat.
Yeah, I hear that. So what brings you over this way today? Nothing wrong with that. So I appreciate you coming today and to help me out with the School of Wizardry and with my graduation and everything, and actually just coming here for the interview in general in this heat. You know, I'm sure it wasn't easy and it wasn't pleasant.
It's not a problem.
Okay. Well, just thank you again for your help. I appreciate it.
Sure.
I do have some questions for the interview. What is your name and/or identification?
Well, in the vampire community and the nightside community, I go by Derek Lestat.
Okay. And how old are you?
Well, I could get all mystical and make up something that sounds really good, but 48.
Okay. Have you been a vampire your entire life?
The real answer would be yeah, but that's mainly just because you are what you are. Like, have you been a boy your whole life, or how long have you known you're homosexual your whole life, or whatever? How long, you're born, you are what you are.
Right. And what makes one an elder vampire?
There are a few different definitions and references that float about, but essentially what it boils down to is being an elder. You've actually, like an old mafia phrase, you've earned your bones.
Okay.
You've actually gone and done something. Mm-hmm. You've made a contribution of some sort to the community.
Okay.
Whether you're mentoring or you've organized groups or meets, or you've actually given something of yourself back.
Okay.
And so you've earned your place.
Okay. On your Facebook page, you say you're an elder of your group or coven. What makes you an elder?
Well, the fact that I've been around for a few decades within the community, I organized a few things around 03 and 04.
Okay.
I've learned, I've mentored, I've helped other people out.
Right.
And since there was nothing going on in Chicago, nobody really was stepping up and organizing anything. Well, it's about time somebody had to.
Definitely. Because everybody needs a home. Everybody needs a place to go to identify with.
That's right.
Is it true that the older the vampire gets, the more powerful they become?
Same could be said about anybody, really.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like there's a mystical, magical energy that builds as you get older or more in tune with the Force. Mm-hmm. Like anything, as you keep on going on through life, you learn more and you get more experience.
Okay. And what is your lineage?
As far as real life?
I know that. Yeah. Where's the supernatural thing of a vampire? Where does it come from?
That comes from TV.
Okay.
You asked me what's my lineage?
Yes.
Mostly Polish with a touch of Bohemian Romanian.
Okay. Did you ever have a chance to trace your lineage back down to exactly like how far back you came from and who you came from?
I have a second cousin on my father's side. He's traced a few great-grandparents down the line.
Okay.
I've got a cousin. She started tracing a few greats down on the maternal side as well.
Okay. And what exactly is a coven?
The easiest definition of a coven is a group of like-minded, identifying individuals.
Okay.
Just like, I don't want to be a good way to sum that one up. Be like a group of people that all identify the same, and they've got the same belief systems, and just like you said, everybody needs a home. That's where it kind of falls into it.
So it sounds kind of like a family, would you agree?
I would say, yeah.
Okay.
Like family by choice.
Okay. And do you currently right now belong to a coven?
The group that I have, I wouldn't call it a coven so much.
Okay.
I took a different approach. I didn't make everything as a house or a clan, no big royal titles. I went with went in the direction of coalition.
Okay.
Just whatever disparate groups are out there, just put everybody together, one banner. You want to do this thing, that's fine. You can still do it. Come by us.
Okay.
You want to do that thing, fine. Just come. Everybody pull together.
Okay. Well, you said you're a member of a coalition and you founded it. What's the name of the coalition?
The Greater Chicagoland Vampire Coalition.
Okay.
Which essentially takes whatever vampire elements are out there. And as you said, it's like a sense of family. Everybody, come on in. Stop wandering around by yourselves. Come to one table.
Okay. And what is your ranking in the family?
Well, as I said, I've tried to eschew titles and all that. I don't want to get into the drama of, well, I'm your king. Well, I didn't vote for you. You know, so. But just with ease of everything else, you need to have some sort of identifier to it. So I decided, okay, call me elder, call me patriarch. That works.
Okay. So you're the head of the group?
Yes.
Okay. And if you could tell the world one thing about vampires, what would it be?
Could be a tricky question because the world itself isn't really ready like that. I mean, drawing a parallel, look how long it took for acceptance with the gay community. People in general just aren't ready to accept something like this yet.
Okay. What kind of vampire are you?
Using the designations, I would say sanguinarian and psion.
Okay.
It's my belief that all of us have the psionic ability like that. Some of us are more predominant towards blood, but even if that's the case and you don't have it, you need a fallback.
Right.
So it's my belief system that all vampires are at least psionic.
Okay. And how long do vampires typically live? Because, you know, they have the myth and legend of they can live hundreds of thousands of years. What is your outtake on that?
About the same as anybody else. Well, we have the designation vampire, for want of a better term, but like anybody else, we have a mortgage, we have a job, we have car payments, lifespan. Probably about the same as anybody else. I know a few vampires that have passed away, some early. There are a few out there that you wouldn't think that they were as old as they are.
Okay. And what are some of the typical ethics of vampires?
Typical ethics?
Yeah.
Mostly just common sense. As far as donors go, consensual.
Okay. Is it a written consent, a verbal consent, or?
Some actually do have paperwork to fill out to actually show legally that yes, I consent to this. You could also draw a parallel with the BDSM community. Like, I have my permission to have you tie me down and spank me with a kitchen panel.
Okay.
If the donor is willing to be giving blood, well, you would want consent for that.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's akin to rape.
Okay.
Taking what you want forcibly without consent.
Right. And do vampires have any kind of special abilities, and if so, what are they?
A lot of us have more affinity towards a spiritual type of bent, I would say. A lot of us practice the craft. A lot of us work with energies, which is what it all boils down to anyway, is all energy. There are those among us that can see spirits, we can see auras.
Right.
As far as empire gifts go, there's some of us that we've exhibited a few things that are beneficial. I guess glamour would be one word for it, where you can kind of nudge people along towards where we want them to go.
Okay.
Or a lot of us are empathic. We can pick up on your emotions. We can sense if you're in distress or whatever. Some of us can go so far where we can kind of heal your damage, take what's wrong with you towards ourselves.
Right. Now, if you take somebody's damage into yourself, how do you end up healing yourself?
That would go along just with energy. You're taking somebody else's bad energy, you have to ground it out.
Okay.
Just like any kind of psychic healer might do.
Okay. And do vampires really drink blood?
Some of us do, yeah.
Okay. No, you don't worry about diseases or anything like that, or how does that work?
There's a whole system of checks and balances in place on that. Donors, they need to go get a blood test every couple months, keep it current, keep the paperwork so we can see, okay, yeah, good, you got checked out. You got seen by a doctor, you're all good.
Okay.
As far as blood drinking, yeah, a lot of us do. A lot of non-vampires do too.
And
it's in a lot of ethnic European recipes.
Okay.
Sausage, English pudding.
Now, if you have a steady availability, how often would you drink it?
Depends on the individual needs. Some can go weeks without. Some can only go a couple days without. Some have learned to go without altogether.
Okay.
Mostly out of necessity.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really that easy just to go over, hey baby, what's your blood type?
Yeah, that's true. But if it's available to you all the time, it's no question about it. Like say you have a couple donors and they're willing and everything. How much blood would you do? Would you do it like several times a day, every day, or
maybe every couple days?
Okay. And how much?
In general, for the most part, most of us go maybe about 1 or 2 ounces.
1 or 2 ounces? Okay. No, it doesn't make...
Some can just go off of with little, just make a small little incision and just have a couple good sucks off of that. And,
okay.
You just had a quick hit.
Right.
For some of us, that's fine. Some of us need a little bit more.
Okay. Now, it doesn't make you nauseous when you do like the more elaborate, like 2 ounces and stuff?
No.
Okay. Because I know like the average person, sometimes they would get nauseous. That's why I was asking.
Yeah. Some people would, but I don't want to say we have some special ability, but we might. There's really no medical studies on it.
Okay. And is there a typical blood type vampires like to drink?
As far as A positive or B negative?
Yes.
Not really, no.
Okay.
But you do notice differences such as with health or with diet. Like, for example, diabetics taste sweeter.
Okay. Very nice.
Or if someone has an iron deficiency, you don't really want to tap that card.
Okay, why not?
It would be more detrimental for them.
Right.
Iron deficiency, that's borderline anemic. So you don't really want to feed off of someone who's anemic.
Okay, so it does show a greater character of ethics there too, where you actually care for the donors, you just don't take for yourself.
I mean, with the large gift that they're giving of themselves to us, it should be obligatory that you do take care and concern. Keep them well, concerned about their health, their well-being.
Very good. Now, is it possible that you could ever drink too much blood?
I haven't gotten to that point, but could be a fun challenge.
Okay.
Now, imagine like any other human concern, too much of anything, you might get sick.
Yeah, that's true.
Too much iron, too much vitamin D.
So do you look at it as food, as pleasure? Is it necessary if you weren't like the psi type?
I would say all of the above.
Okay.
I mean, obviously we do get something out of it. We do get that extra energy.
Right. So what kind of energy do you get from it that a normal person wouldn't?
Call it by any name you want. Prana, chi, what have you.
Okay, so you actually get the energy out of it.
Yes.
Okay.
There is that energy contained in the blood.
Okay. Do you know, to the best of your knowledge, do you know how, I don't know if you've studied it or not, but do you know how the energy is in the blood and how you get it out, how it works?
I know that it's there.
Okay, fair enough.
Like the difference between if you were to go to an ethnic grocer and buy prepackaged beef blood that's been sitting in the freezer for a couple weeks, whatever,
right,
versus, as you might say, straight from the tap.
Right. So you don't have to have fresh. You can get it from a cow, or you can go to a butcher and get a piece of meat.
You could, but that's not the same as getting right there from someone who's actually still pumping it.
Okay. Now, is there energy in the butchered blood, or?
There's residual, but it's been dead and frozen for so long.
Okay. And
it's a little bit, but a lot of it's mostly aesthetic.
Okay.
But it is possible to actually get blood drunk off of that sometimes.
Okay. Now, what
I've seen happen.
So what happens when you get blood drunk? What are the signs?
Just feeling wild and reckless abandon like you would if you were at a good party.
Oh, okay, so it's like, your average person just drinking too much alcohol.
Yeah, I've seen it happen recently at a wedding reception, and we were having a really good time.
Okay.
Just letting all the inhibitions out.
There you go.
Celebrating.
That's good to do sometimes. Now, what exactly is the process of finding a donor in the first place? I mean, how would you go about it?
If I had some kind of good, surefire method, I probably wouldn't share that anyway.
Okay.
But like I said, it's not like you can just go and pick up some girl in a bar and say, "Hey, baby, what's your blood type? Hey, look, I've got Lancets."
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a social stigma. But
okay.
I say, if I had some surefire method, I probably want to be keeping it to myself.
Okay, sounds good. Fair enough. Okay, and how does a person find out they are a vampire?
The same way somebody would find out if they are trans or homosexual or anything else. You're born what you are.
Right.
And as you grow in life, you start seeing different things about yourself, and you start realizing, hey, this is a little bit different, and this is what I am. And then you start researching on it. With vampires, we have what's called an awakening.
Okay.
For many of us, for everybody it's a little bit different, but common element for many of us is just like all these loose scattered pieces, they all fall into place. And you just hit with the realization, hey, this is what's going on. This is what's making sense. Now I know what's going on with me. Now I know what to look into.
Okay.
Now I know who to look for, what measures I need to take, what I need to do.
Okay. Now, the old stigma with Hollywood and everything like that. In your opinion, can vampires actually be made or turned or anything like that?
No, you're born, you are what you are. Anybody that says that they can make you into a vamp, they're trying to sell you something.
Okay.
They're trying to sell you a membership in something, or they're trying to sell their aesthetics, they're trying to sell fake teeth,
right,
jewelry, whatever. If someone says they can make you, that's not how it works.
Okay.
Once again, to draw a comparison with the other communities, it's like someone come up and say, I can make you gay. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah. Okay. So what exactly is an awakening? You just wake up and you realize that, hey, this is what I am?
It's just like having a veil pulled off from over your eyes. Like you go your whole life knowing that I'm different from all the other kids. I'm not fitting in with this or that. I'm having a problem with this or with energy. I'm feeling run down. I'm always feeling on the outside. And for a lot of us, it's just you reach a certain age and something it just clicks, and you just know what you are.
Now, are there mentors out there for, like, say, one day I just wake up one day and I get awakened and I'm a vampire. Who would I contact? I mean, is there anybody out there to teach you or help you? Or
Myself, when it actually happened with me, I was experimenting on message boards, and I started getting more towards like the quote-unquote darker ones, and just started talking with other people, and then like anything else, you start sharing a couple little secrets, and next thing you know, someone is, they're saying that they know what you're going through and they can help you out, or you find someone that's confused and you realize they're going through what you went through 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
Okay.
And you want to see them floundering around. You're going to help them become the best them that they are.
Okay. Now, do vampires really have fangs?
Like this?
Let me get a close-up of that. Okay. Now, is that something you're born with, or something that's just for aesthetic, or?
Some vampires, some regular people might have longer canines, but these, they were handcrafted.
Okay.
They're just aesthetic decoration.
Okay. Now, what made you get them?
Thought it was cool. I always wanted them since I was a kid.
Okay.
You know, every Halloween you go and look at the Halloween shop. Bangs, I want to get bangs. I had some that were professionally made.
Okay. So is it a reflection of how you feel on the inside at all? Or?
You could say it's an outward reflection, yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely a great conversation piece too. Give somebody a little smile and oh my God, they look so. Is that real? Is that real? Give me your arm and find out.
There you go. Now, are they used for anything outside of like just a showpiece and a conversation piece?
I had mine made functional.
And how are they functional?
They're sharp.
Okay.
If I didn't want to hold back, they break the skin.
Okay.
Draw blood.
Okay. And do you know what the origins of vampires are? Like, where do they come from, roughly?
Oh, that's a whole other academic topic. That could go back to Romania, that could go back to Egypt, go back to old folklore.
Right.
That's a whole other area of academia.
Okay.
It's a whole other study.
Okay. And how did vampires evolve through the centuries, would you say, into what they are today?
In addition to Hollywood, I'd say good turning point would have been Anne Rice writing her books starting in the 70s.
Okay.
Instead of making the vampire the monster and the villain, making the sympathetic anti-hero.
Okay.
And people just picked up on that. And, oh, hey, vampires are cool after all. I don't have to go blah, blah, blah. I can actually just be moody.
Okay.
And it works. And it just mushroomed out from there.
Okay. And, well, you answered that one. Can one choose to be a vampire? Because there are several books out there that say that if you live the vampire lifestyle and maybe in your next lifetime you'll be born a vampire. That's one of the theories. I mean, what do you think about that?
If you're just trying to live the lifestyle, then you're just a lifestyle.
Okay.
Like if you play too many games of Dungeons and Dragons and you decide you want to walk around and say, I'm a Viking, but you have no Scandinavian roots.
Right.
As far as in the next lifetime, your soul is your soul.
Okay.
It is what it is.
Okay. And do vampires need as much rest as humans do?
Depends on the individuals. Sometimes more, sometimes less. The shift that I work, I'm never up before noon.
Okay.
But that's because of my job and my work hours. But just like any other living, breathing, walking mammal.
Okay. So you say, you have a regular job, house and mortgage and that. Can I ask what you do for a living, or?
I've got a nice position in an industrial factory.
Okay, now it's obvious that garlic and crucifixes and sunlight, that's all Hollywood. They're not true weaknesses of vampires. Do vampires actually have any true weaknesses?
I know a number of vampires who actually enjoy gardening.
Okay.
As far as weaknesses, if we don't feed, if we don't get what we need to fill that little energy deficiency, yeah, there are outward signs. We might get lethargic, we might get extra cranky. You'll just know that something is off and unbalanced.
Okay.
As far as actual weaknesses like kryptonite, no more than anybody else will.
Okay.
I mean, a wooden stake in the heart, that'll kill anybody.
Yeah. Okay.
Garlic? Well, I enjoy cooking with garlic.
Oh yeah, we all do, I think. That's some good stuff.
Crosses? That's just a symbol of a religious order.
Yeah. Okay.
No different than a triple moon or a star of David.
Okay.
I don't go shun that. I might shun some of the followers, but not the symbol itself.
Okay. So, do you have anything else you might want to add to the interview or want to say to the people watching it?
Pretty much just another demographic that's out there, with another community of people, and we are what we are, and we are here.
Very good. And thank you, Derek Lestat. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem.
And once again, this is Themathou Stormbringer. It's with the Blessed Be with the interview with the vampire.